This day belongs first and foremost to our graduates, and it's my honor to introduce to you the president of the third-year class, Mr. Preston Meche. Preston is originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, and he did his undergraduate work at American University in Washington. He's had a distinguished law school career. In addition to serving as president of the third-year class, he is also president of the law school's Gay and Lesbian Network and a member of the Stonewall Bar Association. He was a member of the mock trial team and was inducted into the Order of the Barristers. And next year, Preston will be a law clerk for the Honorable Harold Brown, Superior Court Judge in Kenai, Alaska. Please join me in welcoming Preston Meche.
Dean White, Sheriff Edwards, Dr. Galvin, Provost Mace, Justice Hunstein, Ms. Bannister, Dean Wilner, faculty, staff, family, friends, fellow graduates, and everyone else who I neglected to mention, although I think that just about covers everyone. Good morning. All right, I know many of you may have had a rough night last night. I know I did. You may not have had your cup of coffee or your mimosa or whatever it is to get you through your day, but I said, good morning. Good morning. It's better. When you apply to law school, many people write their personal statement on why they decided to go to law school. Some people write about the valor of the profession, some how they want to change the world. I just wanted to go to law school because I had seen Legally Blonde, and I had thought, hey, I can do that and just as well. And perhaps with just the right amount of oomph, I could be a law student. Many people have preconceived notions about law school and law students. Elle's father, for example, even said that law school is for people who are boring and ugly and serious, and you, Button, are none of those things. Thankfully, I'm none of those things, too. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that I'm kind of a big deal. Sure, I've got accomplishments, president of the gays, mock trial, etc., etc. But I happen to think that I'm a big deal because I actually took some advice. I took the advice of Dean Kurtz, who unfortunately cannot be with us today. At orientation, he told us to keep several things with us as we continued through law school: humility, perspective, morals, and a sense of humor. While I may not have kept the humility, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. I definitely kept the sense of humor, and frankly, you need it, especially when your class elects you most likely to be involved in a sex scandal while running for political office. Thanks, guys. Seriously, though, I think that I have become the man that I am today simply because I live my life out loud. The only way to be noticed, the only way to make it to where I am right now, is to live out loud. I blame a lot of it on where I grew up, in New Orleans. Because in New Orleans, we dance when there is no music, we drink at funerals, we talk too much and live too large, and we're suspicious of others who don't. Basically, I've lived my life as a Broadway musical. And anyone who knows me can attest to that. Have I broken out in a song in the middle of the hallway in between classes? Maybe. Amazingly, no one has cared when this has happened. I think our class is just desensitized to such sights. After all, during our first year, we were subjected to homeless people bathing in the sink in the downstairs men's bathroom. Fortunately, that little problem has cleared up. Now, there have been a lot of jokes about law school. Perhaps a million about lawyers in general, too. But the one that I've heard most often about law school is this: during your first year, they scare you to death. Second year, they work you to death. And third year, they bore you to death. As much as I'd like to agree with this statement, I'd have to say this: I'm still waiting to be bored. I would like to stand before you and say that the class of 2007 has read over 1 million pages of text during these last 3 years. Unfortunately, I can only tell you that over 1 million pages of text has been assigned to us during the last 3 years. Sometimes the professors packed it on so much that I didn't know whether to scratch my watch or wind my butt. Half the time I just wanted to scream out, grab a bottle, hunker down, and pray for daylight. And somehow the professors know exactly when you haven't been able to finish that assignment. I don't know if they teach that in law professor school, but I swear they can sense it. There were even times when I'd walk through the library and just think that some of these people were going through so much pain and misery that they were right up there with Elizabeth Taylor. With exams and outlines and site checks, oh my. Those were times when I just wanted to grab the nearest first year and go up to the miserable students and say, "Here, hit this. We'll make t-shirts that say, 'I hit little so-and-so.' We'll sell them all over the law school. We'll make a fortune." Of course, no one took me up on that offer because that's a battery. I'm sure we could have made a fortune, though. The class of 2007 has not only endured their fair share of pain in the classroom, but we've also managed to be strong in the face of many tragic events over the past 3 years. Most recently, we were subjected to possibly the most inhumane tragedy ever witnessed upon American public. And who might this evil creature be? How has this terrifying enemy surfaced? It happened in the seemingly most innocent and unlikely of places. It was Sanjaya Malakar on American Idol. But Sanjaya wasn't the only pain we have had to suffer. Over the past 3 years, we've had to bear witness to Ashley Simpson's little singing problem on Saturday Night Live, Tom Cruise's little couch jump on Oprah, Anna Nicole's Trim Spa commercials, Anna Nicole's Supreme Court appearance, and Anna Nicole's tragic death, Paris Hilton's singing career, if you could call it that, and Paris Hilton's soon-to-be executed prison sentence. I swear, if they make her wear an orange jumpsuit, I will personally call Amnesty International myself. Whoever said orange is the new pink is seriously disturbed. Jokes aside, though, I have personally been very impressed with how strongly UGA law students have responded to national tragedy. Earlier in our second year, Hurricane Katrina struck my hometown of New Orleans. While escaped unscathed, several family members, including my grandmother, lost everything. In response to this, UGA law students formed a committee to gather money for the victims of the hurricane. Naturally, I was on the committee. I'm a big deal, remember? And in one day alone, I personally collected over $600 from 8 people. Now remember, we're students living on loans. That's a lot of ramen noodles. Things like that make me proud to be a law student at the University of Georgia. I believe this is what makes us one of the best law schools in the country, the people. Because the school is not just the bricks and mortar, but the people who make it the best place it can be. It's the people, both faculty and students, who make us not just any university in Georgia, we are the University of Georgia. It is the people here who work harder, faster, and more diligently than any other law school in the nation. It is the people who make me want to say, I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog while in a crowd of rabid LSU fans. And we are not just any class. Ours was the first class to admit more women than men. And when these students cross this stage, they will be more than your friends, spouses, and children. They will be the future of the legal profession. And tonight, once all the bars close down and the parties have ended, the last glass of celebratory champagne has been drunk, and the last bedside table lamp goes out. That, Marjorie, just so you know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. So I feel as though I should leave everyone with some sort of inspirational quote. This is a graduation and all. Usually you're supposed to do these things and end each paragraph with, because we have hope. Well, I'm not your typical kind of guy, which I'm sure you probably picked up on by now. I will leave you with this, though. Last month, Legally Blonde opened on Broadway as a musical. Coincidence? I think not. I think there is some cosmic balance in the world now. I guess it just goes to show you that no matter how silly the dream, whether Elle Woods' dream or mine, it can still come true. Today I embark upon a new dream, to avoid my student loan officer for the next 35 years. So in conclusion, in the immortal words of Elle Woods, as she ended the movie that inspired me to come to law school in the first place, congratulations, class of 2007. We did it! Thank you.